No, I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to do. Like, I don't play this every day, so. Yeah, I think my internet is. I don't remember what I'm supposed to play here. B5, Queen B5, Knight C2 check. It looks like my internet is crap. B5, Queen takes. Rook B8, Queen A4. Yeah, my voice is messed up. Topoltsa. So you had to actually travel to Topoltsa, which is a long trip in the first place. I didn't realize it was that far. So you just had a long trip to the starting place to begin with. Yeah, that sucks. Man, I don't remember what I'm supposed to play here. Is it bishop f5 or b5? If bishop f5, he just plays knight a3. I don't remember that being a line. I didn't realize that. I mean, I've played in Comlo, but I didn't realize it was that far. Instantly took. Who's excited for the World Championship? What World Championship? I like how he's never faced this before, but he doesn't need to use any time. It's really weird. Oh, brother. Anyway. This is the Twilight Zone. I'm sure that both of us have made mistakes by now. What? I don't understand the move e6. What does that do? You would have survived with 3 hours if I had driven straight to Kumlu, which did not seem to make too much sense. Why? You don't get to socialize with your teammates? No team spirit? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the heck? This isn't normal. Neither of us played the best moves here, clearly. I'm just freaking out to not lose on time, basically. He just plays for time every single game. Not even a vague attempt to make the best possible moves. It's extremely strange for me. I probably missed mate in 3 or winning his queen or something, but I'm down to 10 seconds. I mean, white is still objectively in a bad position. Totally normal. This is totally normal to play chess like this. Whatever. The only thing I'm interested is the position after queen a4 check. I have to play knight c6 here. Is e5 the right move? But then what do I do after knight a3? I don't get it. I have to play b5 here now. Apparently I'm like winning after d5. Wow. Bishop f5. Bishop f5 is a draw, or it's equal. Here, b5. Yeah, I had no clue what was going on here. Not a draw. White's better. Very unclear position. So d5, theoretical novelty. It's not a theoretical novelty. It's just not been played at master level. Wow. So I'm supposed to play bishop f5. That's even better. But I had no clue. You have to calculate this. Oh, now knight d4. Damn. I don't know, man. This was too complicated. Darren Rudin, it's a marginal thing. I mean, I don't know that 1.5 is always winning. But there's got to be a borderline somewhere. When I analyze with the engine and endgames, that seems to be the arbitrary barrier. This is just my own personal experience. Usually in the endgame, where it's very finite and the advantage is above, I would say above 1.5, it's like, this isn't quite qualifying. I mean, white is like 1.4, but it's practically winning. b5, cb5, knight d4, here, e5, and it was just crazy position. Plays the best move according to the engine. Takes, en passant, bishop takes. I missed this sick move here. Oh my god. I knew there was something. Bishop b3? Like an Acer mate. 1.4 is just one pawn advantage. No, pawns are only worth one, so it's like a pawn and a half. Alright. Almost a pawn and a half. That's different from a pawn, but... Knight d4. I mean, for argument's sake, I would say like 1.6 is a winning position, you know. Approximately. Anyway. Okay, this keel variation is not the soundest, but it's certainly fun for blitz. Sumaher. Anyway, that was a fun game. I shouldn't start off with such a tactical position in the morning when I haven't played, you know, yet today. How am I black again? Let's see. You were white last time when you beat me. You were white the time before that. He's like, how am I black again? You were black the time before that. You've been white the last 2 games. That's how it works. We like alternate colors and stuff. Every 3 games you have to be white. Like black, I mean. He's complaining he didn't have three whites in a row. Or what's the deal? 2 in a row is not enough for you? I get it. Alright. What are we gonna play? Yeah, I can't deal with that. Knight f6 Caro-Kann. He doesn't play that, but I'm like not even gonna play the main lines with white. Wait, am I tripping then? Bijak, who? What? Why? You had this yesterday? Who's that, Bijak? He cheated against me in blitz games, 2 blitz games online. I refused to play against him. At least one of them was definitely an engine. But don't, you know, run around like telling people that. I just announced it on the internet. He definitely cheated against me in a game here on my stream. I kind of lost some respect for him. I don't know the guy, but I won't play him. If we play his team, I won't play that match. Well, he wasn't an FM at the time. But I could show, I mean, I have the game in a study. I mean, it was clearly an engine. 100%. He got disqualified. I mean, he had his account closed on lichess. I wasn't sure why, but whatever. I can't, like, go to an over-the-board tournament and play the guy and, like, sit there and shake his hand, you know. Once somebody cheats against me, I mean, unless they, like, came to me and, like, apologize directly. On the topic of another cheater, there was this GM, who shall remain nameless, who cheated against me. And he came to, like, Budapest and played in the first Saturday. Or he came and he just, like, he was meeting some friend at the first Saturday after cheating against me in, like, 5 games online. And, like, he says hi and, like, wants to shake my hand. I'm like, yeah, dude, whatever. I mean, you can't take people's title away from cheating in online games. Well, I don't think they take titles away at all. Like, Rousis is still a grandmaster, right? Sebastian Feller is still a grandmaster after cheating in over-the-board games. They should. Maybe they did take Rosses' title away. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. But there's no like over the board penalty for cheating online. I mean, these are accusations based on lichess and chess.com. FIDE can't act on that, you know. You can't punish someone in over the board chess. You can't punish someone's over the board chess title for something that might have happened in an online tournament. I'm talking about cheating in online chess. Not like OTB, as far as I know. But obviously you couldn't trust someone to not cheat over the board. If they cheat online, like, they're pretty sus. Last year we were supposed to play their team, and I would have played him, and I was like, dude, I'm not playing. I just didn't play the match. I'm not gonna go and play over the board against someone who's cheated against me. It was like 0% chance. I try not to make a big deal about it. I didn't tell my team captain why I wouldn't play, but that was the reason. Very solid game here from Sumaher. Very solid. I don't know about this Rook B1. What's the plan? Damn, dude, it's fast. Fast and solid. Titles are meritorious. Nice adjective. Acerbate. Master linguist. Acerbate, what happened yesterday in our simul game? You dropped the ball in your pride and joy. The Vienna game. I mean, I don't want to shame people. It's just that, like, you know, you blatantly cheat against me. Whatever. All right. Oh, man. I allowed e4. Wait, your bishop's hanging. Wait, your bishop's hanging. So, what happens here? Wow, what a move. e4. Pawn takes pawn doesn't do much. Really wanted to keep my bishop pair on board. If you want to keep bishop pair on board, I don't think we have a way to arrange that here. It's an amazing move. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, white might have some kind of microscopic advantage here. How about b5? Really not a bad idea. Not only is he insanely strong, but he has 3 minutes to my 1. Like, what is going on with this guy? Damn, he's good. And super fast. I asked this last game, Superhair, how are you so fast? Fast and no errors. Very impressive. Surge JM, welcome. My voice seems a little better. I was afraid I was getting a cold, but now it's kind of cured itself. I think we're okay. Everyone's paranoid about like COVID and stuff. I mean, it's good reason to be careful, but whoa, knight takes e8. Now he's like addressing that concept. Wow. Knight e8 is deep. It's very deep. b5 again? Yeah, structure. Structural advantage. You could play bishop g5 instead of rook takes e8. Sure. You could. It's an interesting idea. It hadn't really occurred to me. I was focusing on other stuff. I was looking for the A file, attacking his queenside pawns. That hadn't really occurred to me. I can't believe how fast he is. White is better, obviously, but I don't know if I'm winning. Healthier pawns. Healthy gums mean healthy pawns. Sorry. I really need to go to the dentist. Been a long time. I miss the dentist. Wow. That's pretty crazy. What's he doing? He's created like a little box. His rook is self-inflicted. Exile. Now you're talking. Rook h4 is good though. It's not the move I expected. Interesting. You serious on not winning this? Oh my god. Now I'm losing? What is going on here? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Right. I lost this position in a king and pawn endgame? Didn't I just have the same position a minute ago? How do you win here? That's what I played. King b5, king c7, king a4. This was the position we had on the board. Wait. What? King d6. King a4. I played king b4. King a4 is the blunder here. I have to play it in the other position. Wow. You won because you played the endgame, you know, so fast. I've never seen anything like it. You played the entire game with 39 CPL compared to my 57. That's pretty amazing. I mean, considering you were worse the entire game. You know, you're worse the entire game, and you win because you're like 10 times faster than me. Even though you're 1800 in bullet, 1900 rapid, 2000, you're 10 times faster than me. You can defend faster. Yeah, I mean, I have 9 seconds. You have 2 minutes or something. No, I mean, I can't calculate enough here with 9 seconds left. King d6. King b5, king c7. I can't win. I was looking at the other position here was the key position where I want d6 to work, but it doesn't freaking work because of king d7. I forgot you can take here, king here. I'm winning, right? I had this position. I don't know. The problem was this. I thought that wins, you know. So after king c7, it's like, how do you win? You have to like triangulate. King a4. I mean, it's crazy, you know. I don't find this with 3 seconds or whatever. I would actually need to think about it. But watch the defense here. This was very strange. Putting your rook in the corner like that. I expected h5, but you played f5 instead. And again, I don't have time to calculate. If I take an f5, my d4 pawn's hanging on the next move. I was scared of that. Like takes here. I can't drop this. So I was terrified to drop that pawn. Like rook g3, rook takes here. But I'm apparently... Yeah, this isn't a win. This isn't a win either. Computer wants me to play g takes f5. It's like not a winning position for white. This is exactly what I was talking about 20 minutes ago. You get to an endgame, and if the evaluation is under 1.6, it's probably a draw. I don't know why the freaking engine is putting up 2.0 at the top there. That's not the evaluation, right? I'm just not winning here. It's unbelievable. You boxed your rook in the corner, have a worse structure. f5 is... I mean, honestly, h5 is far more natural. I don't understand why you didn't play h5. He even plays like the second best move and he still can't lose. It's unbelievable. it needs to calculate max depth. Thought rook g3 was a better practical try. This is actually the best. Yeah, I calculated this king and pawn game is good for me. You shouldn't go into the king and pawn ending. Computer says this is still a draw. Probably not an easy draw. Because I have 2 passed pawns. I mean, it looks very scary for black. My king is in a bad position. Kind of cut off. It's not in a position to, like, help these pawns advance. You know, like, how does my king get in there to help these pawns advance so that pawn on b6? But anyways, this is the losing move. I should be winning here. g6, g5. I thought, okay, it's Zugzwang, it's over. It's not so easy. I have to find king a4 and then king a3 or something. No, king b4, king d7. Now what? King a4 repeats position. So how do I win this? Show me the win. King b3. What's that? Like distant opposite diagonal opposition or what? What do you call that? I have some kind of weird like opposition going on here. There needs to be a name for this. So king d6. See? I never thought about opposition in this way. What's that, like the Tetris opposition? King d6, king b4. Now it looks like I'm clearly winning. So let's see the original position. King b4, king d6. He has the opposition. I go here, and now he's just like winning. Which was really dumb, but the problem is if king b5, king c7, it's no obvious win, you know? I thought d6 was winning, but he has this crazy defense. So again, how do I win? It's like king a4, king d7, king b3, king d6, king b4. So I have to triangulate. King c7, king c3, distant opposition. King d7, king d3, distant opposition. So king c7, what's the move? King e4. This is extremely complicated to find this shit with no time left. The Tetris opposition. I was expecting it to be easy. Okay, you know, he's in Zugzwang, I'm winning. No. That's one of the weirder king and pawn games I've seen in a long time. Yesterday, our last board played the Budapest Gambit. The lowest rated player on my team is yesterday was like 2070 out of 12 boards. Isn't Zugzwang the very next move the opponent losing? Well, technically he was, right? That's a good question, though. You know, does the definition of Zugzwang mean that the next move is an easy to see winning move? I don't know. You know, that's a good question. Of course not, Rupun. It's an embarrassment to FIDE. That's obscene. It's obscene. They need to fix the rating rules right now for that kind of stuff not to happen. Of course, it's not fair for Aronian to lose 28 points. But that's why I wouldn't play in the last Rapid tournament. The FIDE, Rapid, and Blitz ratings are a joke. It's just a joke. Of course it's not fair. But I already told you this. And no one wants to pay FIDE like $50 per tournament to have their tournaments rated. That's the problem. It's okay for Tata Steel, but for average organizers and chess federations, every time they have a Rapid tournament, they have to send a gift to FIDE of like $50 or euros or whatever. Forget that, man. What is this? What is this? Schieberspieler variation. Dude, I would refuse to play. I mean, but that's why all the good players I know just they don't care about their FIDE Rapid ratings. I guess I shouldn't care either. But it's like, why even bother having a rating? You know? They should automatically... It's very simple what FIDE has to do, dude. They have to automatically assign ratings to players, you know, who are above master level. It's simple, dude. You know, if you're over 2200 standard, you automatically get like a starting rating of whatever that is in Rapid. And then you go from there, you know. You don't start from 0. It's obscene and ridiculous. No, I mean, if you don't have a Rapid rating, you get assigned whatever your normal rating is. It's simple. But that would be too much work for them to have to do that, you know. Somebody at some office would have to spend a couple days like typing in some numbers or something. Or they have to have a vote on it or something. You know, it's very, very difficult. GM Simon Chess Twitch. Hola. What's up, GM Simon? Yeah, we can play one game. But you have to get in the line. You have to challenge me. But you have to challenge me to 5+3. GM Simon, maybe it's GM Tranquilizer. Wait, that was Ripun. It's a Ginger GM troll. Ginger GM troll account. GM Ginger clone account. Okay, we had this with Schieberspieler a while back. It's not you? I won't discriminate against you, troll. You can challenge me just like everybody else. Oh, but you have no games. Oof. No, you can't play if you have no games. I only play with established accounts. Sorry. You'll have to challenge me with your other account. Your pre-troll account. Dude, I don't know. He's going to get in trouble for copyright violations or something. Alright. Very similar game. Juicebox, you're tempted to send a game? I don't accept challenges from new accounts. Sorry, dude. I assumed you had games. You have a completely new account you created to troll Simon. I can't accept it. That's my rules. You can challenge me once you play 100 games. Yeah, challenge Uber Driver. Uber Driver will play you. So Ali Reyes is over 2,800. They're claiming he beat. They're claiming he beat Carlsen's record, I guess, the youngest ever 2,800. Wow, H4. I can't have him controlling the G5 square. You gotta play 100 games really fast and then get back to me. I've got a challenge from Perez 12. For example, Perez 12 has 412 rapid games, 57 classical games, 140 blitz games. He qualifies to play. Sarish, 460 blitz games. You know, so these are established accounts that I know are not going to troll me like playing with a computer or something. I have this rule in place because of things that have happened in the past. People create troll accounts, play with an engine against me, delete the account, you know, 2 days later when they get banned. I'm not going to waste my time with that. That's why I require people to have 100 games. Like an account they've invested a little bit, at least a few days, like playing on. It's simple. Okay, so knight takes f2 is possible, but I mean, my king's side is very open here, so I'm not sure what we should do. There's rook takes f4, exchange sack, also not convincing. There's knight c5. I don't really know what to play. Knight f2, king f2, g5. The problem is queen g6 check. At the end of the day, I mean, he trades the queens, he's okay. He's up a pawn. Can even afford to lose one back. So I don't think so. We're gonna have to regroup. I don't really like pulling my knight off of e4 either. Honestly, I have no idea what my best move is there. Isn't this for the subscriber, today's stream? No, it's not just for subscribers. I mean, the point is the subscribers challenge first. But if there's no subscribers, I've got to play someone. So then, you know, we play the other people. Juicebox bought you a sub and never thanked him. Unfortunately, I don't have an unlimited supply of subscribers. I wish I did. My unlimited subscriber supply is running out. Prem, you're not a subscriber. Oh, you would have sent your challenge. Just send your subscription. Can you send links? I don't ban people from putting links in the stream, but you know, I just warn people to click on them at their own risk. I try not to infringe too much on people's liberties here. Wouldn't want to force you to get vaccinated or anything sensible like that. My liberty. Yeah, White's still hanging on. He plays the opening extremely well. Jay Gomez. It's a battle, and I mean, it still may be better for White. I'm a pawn down. This gambit line, though, it gives Black a fair amount of counterplay. I don't think White should choose this variation. If I've beaten Schieberspieler in a line, it's kind of a bad sign. I actually won a blitz game against Schieberspieler in this variation, and against some other people too. I mean, that means that it's inherently double-edged and kind of risky. I think there are lots of good options against the Budapest. It was funny, the kid on the other team yesterday, who was like a 12 years old kid, when faced with the Budapest Gambit, he played one of the lines that I play, which is like 4 knight h3 against our team board 12. And I was thinking, it's funny, you know, it's a very positional way of playing knight h3 here, with the idea of knight f4, knight d5. I mean, clearly this kid had been taught by an extremely strategic, you know, minded trainer. Shereshevsky recommends that move, for example, in his book, Soviet Chess Conveyor. Yeah, I don't know where we left book. But I think this is a little risky for white. I would steer clear of this. It's okay, but... So this position here... I don't know what the best move is for black, honestly. I probably played bishop g4 against Schieberspieler. It's funny, when you look at the same position on a different day, you have like a completely different perspective. Today I played like bishop d7. It's very cautious, this move. Yeah, I feel it's not active enough for black. Alright, Viking Beer is a subscriber. Serge is a subscriber. So we will take their challenges first. When he went queen d5, can you play b6 and bishop b7? I don't know. I think you've been playing too much Fajarowicz. Too much Fajarowicz makes Jack an exciting boy. But it's a companion. There is a companion. Yep. You have a companion. Alright, let's just play queen pawn. No, I don't know. I'm actually okay with this variation, Uber Driver. Queen d5, you know, standard main line. But I feel like black at least gets some decent counterplay. The other line with queen a3 is sort of trashy for black. I think f6 is legitimately playable. Simon didn't challenge you. What is Simon Williams? He's Ginger GM, right? He rated my stream a while back. GM Simon Chess Twitch on Friday. I take challenges by the list. By the list! What is this? It's the Kosic variation or something? Kosic defense. I think maybe Yevgeny Viktorovich, who hasn't been on the stream in a long time, played that against me too. No, Kosic played differently. It was a semi-Slav. No, against Dragon, it was c6, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, bishop e7. A similar position. This is different. Yeah, this is an unusual move for black to take on c4 there. I've got to watch out for knight takes e4 though. There are tactical tricks based on knight takes e4. Knight e4, bishop e7, knight c3, bishop d8, knight d1, blah, 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 like that. But I don't think this is okay, really, for black, objectively. White should be better here. You know, I think I had this in an online game. Another blitz game. You remember there's a chess informant where they refuted the Budapest Gambit? That's an interesting concept. Yeah, I don't think it's really refuted. In fact, like, that's the reason why there's like 5 different variations good players tend to play against it. I mean, that's a kind of pretty obvious sign something's not refuted. If top players can't make up like which variation to play, make up their minds, then it's pretty much not refuted. Never trust anything that Yasser says. Now this is interesting. I'm just kidding about Yasser. Even a genius, evil genius, like Rubinstein had a problem. What did Rubinstein play, like simple e3 type of setup? Oh man, are you kidding me? He did the knight takes e4. The human computer. Knight takes e4, bishop e4, bishop e7, bishop f3, queen f3. I'm dropping a pawn here. Like after I mentioned it. Bishop e7, knight c3, bc3. So I have no compensation. How was our other game? Oh, remember I sacked a piece with black or something and only got a draw? Ooh, we're going to be like 0 for 2 against Serbian 2000 positions. Yeah, I saw it as soon as I played it. But why would I play rook fd1 anyway? Maybe rook ad1. White has to fight for a draw now, I guess. Ops color bishops. I have a tactic here, don't I? Bishop takes e6. So what happens if bishop takes e6? Rook e8. Are you kidding me? That wins? No. Bishop takes e6, rook e8, queen g4. It looks like bishop takes e6 actually works. No, it doesn't. The point is he has rook f7. Damn, dude. Bishop takes e6, pawn takes, queen takes, rook f7. Are you serious? There goes all my time. Oh, that's weird. I mean, white should be okay somehow here. But every tactic seems to work perfectly for black. It's very strange. Well, don't exaggerate, but yeah, almost doesn't matter. Note the almost. This looks like the best try. I'm only down to 30 seconds. It's exactly like my game with Sumahair. Everybody's like super fast. Or I'm just super slow. No, bishop e6 doesn't matter, man. He takes back on e6, and then queen e6 check. Rook f7, I lose a piece. We're already done. I know that, Bjack, obviously. But the point is he just takes back and plays rook f7. I have nothing, I just have to resign. No, d5 looks like the best move. And probably I have, you know, reasonable counterplay. But I'm definitely not better. I don't think so. You know? My white square bishop's pretty dangerous, though. No, if I'm careful, I'm probably going to hold. But it was a major blunder, rook fd1. Though I don't know what I'm supposed to play there. You know, it's probably some Budapest, Blumenfeld Gamma type of thing. Like, I should bring my bishop back to f4 and avoid exchanging pieces. Something along those lines. Okay, so what's happening here? Queen e2. Just a simple move. I don't have time, you know, because he's got 2 minutes more than me. He's 2100 in bullet. Basically the same ratings as Sumahair, but he's like higher rated in bullet. Maybe I had b4 there. Unfortunately, the time is killing me. I'm not sure if b4 is a good move. Might be. This looks like a draw now. Yeah, I mean, probably I was never lost. I just have to sort of, you know, trade down to a draw. I find it pretty amazing he could get the exact same position against someone. But I mean, White's play is pretty logical. Most aggressive moves I could play in the opening. Centralization. Very important in queen endings. probably lose another king and pawn endgame. No, white's better now. Is the same king and pawn game? It's a little different. Serbian opponents like their rook end games. Apparently. I should be winning here with 2 connectors. These pawns are too strong. He can't stop it. That is a different situation. Yeah, I mean, he was objectively fine. But the interesting thing was the opening. I've got about another hour left to keep playing. So this is actually... a real variation. Very rare, though. I mean, look how many games there are. Only 10 games. It was played by Axel Bachmann when he was like a little kid. And then the only real games are Udazin randomly playing it against Halifman in 1988, a Christian Bauer game in 2005 against the young Spanish Grandmaster. Handful of games. So this is virtually a novelty. Yeah, I even played the same move as this guy, Queen E2. The pawn has to be protected. Yeah, look at the engine now. It's like H4. That's not getting played. I could castle queenside. I mean, if you want to play H4, you can castle queenside. But Eric Kruger and I did the same thing. And now Rook FD1 is a blunder. That's pretty messed up. Rook FE1. How does Rook FE1 work? He made the same blunder as me, allowing knight to c4. But apparently it's not even a blunder. Here, 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 here. Same move, exact same game. Wow, and black played e5. I was going to play d6. And he did. Wow, the white actually lost this game. But white has a temporary initiative here. Yeah, like, white should not have lost this game. I mean, I was actually never worse. It's interesting. But objectively, it should be a draw. Somewhere I lost my advantage. I think I had b4. I thought I had b4 here. But b4 is not that great. Well, queen e2 is a blunder. I'm winning after queen g4. Yeah, I mean, I was down to 30 seconds. Well, 30 seconds isn't a reason to panic. Only queen g4 is winning. I didn't see that this is winning, but it's obviously winning a pawn. Then we're taking on f7. Yeah, it's not good. He's losing a pawn and then another pawn. After takes, queen c8, another pawn, check, king h8. Now it's white who's up a pawn. with a problematic position. Alright, Perez. Wait, no, we've got Viking Beer. Subscriber. Viking Beer, are you ready? A3, like Adolf Anderson. Alright. A3 is not such a bad move. Nothing wrong with that. I guess G6 makes sense. There's nothing wrong with the English, though. Miles versus Karpov? No. Miles did not play A3 against Karpov, to my knowledge. He did play it with black. That's a little different. So it's D4, G6, Bishop G7, A3. Although I don't have to allow that. It's a Prié attack. The French Grandmaster, Eric Prié, advocates playing like D4, Knight F3, A3 on move 3 type of setups. He did a survey for New in Chess years ago, and I actually played it once. I won the only game where I played that with white against the National Master. Oh, it's like an anti-Benoni system? I never thought about it that way. But I mean, I've seen a lot of people doing this stuff with black. Against the King's Indian attack. Will he play Scandinavian? Yeah, I mean, Bishop D2 is just a weird move. So actually, now we've got a kind of what Keith Arkle calls the speckled hen. White should play probably B4, Bishop B2, Knight on BD2. Bishop D2 is strange. I mean, the bishop should really go to the long diagonal. I mean, it's probably not that bad for white. So C5 he could take the pawn, but then I have Knight E4. I don't know. I think I spend too much time on my moves. He just insta took it. He's like, yeah, pawn. Knight E4 developing. Developing my forces. It's not developing my forces, it's developing my horses. Which is different. Horse development. Now, I could take your pawn on D2 or your pawn on C5. Which pawn do we prefer here? Or I smash the structure with bishop takes C3. Yeah, there's something to be said for that. No, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I think your bishop sucks, and my bishop's on a good diagonal. And your knight's on a bad score too. It's like blocking your pawn. D takes C5 is a sign of an advanced mind. Is that another Feingold rule? Triple pawn position wasn't so bad for white. This is the point of A3. Give his bishop a retreat square. The sign of a sick mind. Yeah, I'm sacrificing for the initiative. d5 is just a patent blunder. I forgot his queen is protected. That's why they gave me the title. His queen is protecting the bishop on d5. Tactics puzzle. Why do I have to be fancy here? I didn't really want to play e6, honestly. And I wanted to keep that square. I guess I should have played like b6 instead of blundering a central pawn with d5. Now it's a little more problematic. I'm basically down a pawn for nothing. So when you're down a pawn for nothing, remember to trade pieces because that helps the opponent. You're actually thinking of knight takes d2. Look, it's not a bad move, knight takes d2. Of course you can play that. I'm sure a lot of good players would have played knight takes d2. What you're doing is you're respecting the long-term value of that bishop. You know, you're thinking outside the box. You're saying his bishop will eventually be a strong piece, so it's not a mistake to trade for that piece that's momentarily bad on d2. You respect the long-term value of it. I mean, it's long-term investing. Yeah, Viking Beard just traded off his bishop on c6. Not sure that's a good idea. You're getting the distinct impression in black. I mean, white is somehow gearing up to castle queenside here, which isn't recommended. Maybe queen e2 had a different purpose, but now he's crossed the line into the twilight zone. Don't really have any options. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. He has a pawn. He could sacrifice the exchange. During my absence here, I was investigating how the engine favors bishop over knight. Turns out almost every middle game engine will try to snap the bishops. Yeah, I mean, bishops have always had a, programmed bias toward bishops. But if you look with AI programs, you might see something different. If you use, like, Leela, you might find it's not the case, Prem, as much. Knight d4 was possible. Any traditionally programmed chess engine is going to be heavily favoring the bishops because the humans programmed it to be that way. But I think with AI learning, they might not be as inclined. With AlphaZero or something, it may not be the same. Traditional engines have always been super biased. It's also very biased towards space advantage. I feel like it overvalues space advantage slightly. Maybe Viking Beer needs to try to trap my bishop in some way. I also liked, well, maybe that's not, it's not that it's overvaluing these things, it's just that humans don't have the skills to take advantage of these advantages like a computer does. But that's what I'm saying all the time. You can't take the computer's evaluation literally like they were designed for a human, because we don't have the tactical skills and accuracy to exploit those evaluations. Right. I'm going to e4. Right, Uber driver. Exactly. Dark square boss. Boss fight. Viking Beer is like a self-taught player. I mean, he's had some training, limited training with tournament players. But he's very unorthodox. Because he's never played in like tournaments or organized chess. His perspective in the opening, for example, extremely unorthodox. So it wasn't a bad position. One advantage of being, self-taught is that you're kind of open-minded. I think that players who memorize a lot of theory have that weakness, that they lose their sense of creativity, which is often a bad thing. And he's done a good job of keeping it sort of murky, and my rooks can't get in the game. Trying to open it up a little. This also controls key central square. Knight a4. Wow. Unexpected. Interesting grip he has on that square. Grip. Grippy. Grippy with the pawns on the queen's side. Can you stop harassing me? Damn, dude. He's played like a genius. Positionally. Is my queen trapped? Dude, that doesn't work. You beat me on time. You totally bluffed me with g4 to make me freak out and lose on time. Unbelievable. What? I thought I lost on time. He resigned. Oh my god, I was like, wait, I lost on time. That's so funny. I really thought I lost on time. I was like frozen. I would have made the move with like 1 second to spare. I thought I was trapped forever, and then I realized the h3 was hanging. Like if you hadn't resigned, I would have found it. I was about to play queen takes h3. I wouldn't have lost on time. I would have made the move with like half a second to spare. I'm pretty sure. I had realized it was hanging. The very last second. Phew, Viking beer, but you were close. Yeah, I mean, he has compensation. He's managed to keep my rooks and my bishops like totally at bay. And he's got the lockdown on c5. So I was pretty bummed here. I mean, I very, very nearly played f5 in this position. But at the end of the day, I was concerned about queen c4 check, king h8, knight g5. Let's see. Is f5 actually good? Oh. It's not knight g5. Check, king h8. If knight g5... Oh, your rook is hanging. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't notice that. But you actually have a good move, ironically. Bishop c3. My king is open. So what was my best move in this position? Bishop c6, it doesn't seem to do much. I mean, you're just going knight c5. I can undermine your queen side with a5. Computer says I'm winning, theoretically, but it's not easy. Yeah, that was an interesting battle. I'm really, really slow. Guys, we have 45 minutes left. I just don't play like 3-0 or anything fast. So I'm liable to lose on time in any moment. Generally not a bad game though, Viking Chess. Alright, starting a new week here. Be the first to gift a sub. Cheer now to be number 1. Number 1! Juicebox Wizard, good game though. Not bad. Yeah, A3, you've played that before? So I got Perez. These are non-subscribers. We're hoping that Play Like Kasparov subscribes when his student loans come through. Alright. Perez from Spain. We played once before. That might have been your first A3. Alright, let's play D5. I almost never play the Queen's Gambit, but I kind of like playing Accepted because it's leading to more open positions. This is dubious. But someone on Sound was playing it, and I looked at it a little bit. Some top player claiming that it's bad for black. But Hikaru played it a bunch of times. Wait, no. I'm supposed to play C6, A4, E5, I think. I had a crazy game in this variation. Yeah, there's like 5 different variations for black. I had an absolutely crazy game in this line. So E5, pawn takes pawn takes D4. He's 936. Okay. He's playing like the critical line. I'm supposed to play A6 here. Yeah. Delchev says it's bad. Chesskeeper, you're like a theoretical expert. I know. Someone else I was working with. Dude, how is he 936 and he knows this theory? I mean, give me a break. What? Delchev is a Bulgarian Grandmaster. 2600 plus. Or used to be. I think I only ever played in like one tournament where he was playing. But I guess he got into teaching and writing a lot. Is bishop takes e4 the right move, even? Some female... I love Uber Driver's commentary. Some female player advocates this. Yeah, his name is Hikaru Nakamura. No, I'm just kidding. Because the important thing is their gender, Uber Driver. You just can't remember what female it was. I mean, there's no way this guy's 936. Damn, that's pretty good. And knows this line. I don't really know it. I mean, I just like analyzed a little with a student and have played some random games with it. I don't think I've ever had a single game where white actually knew how to get to the rook takes a8 position. So Delchev claims it's not sound, but the computer... I mean, I think the evaluation was necessarily lost for white. Okay, this has to be a bad move. Why is White playing rook a7 again? You just brought your rook back a minute ago. So that's like a blatant loss of time. Definitely not a logical continuation for White. But I don't exactly know, like, what should I play? He'll do, like, rook takes f7. That's LOL. That's fine. You could sack the exchange. Rook f7, king f7, knight g5, check, king e8, knight e4. And then we're, you know, equal based on material. No, I mean, the b5's been played a lot at high levels. If you have a computer, you can probably refute it very deeply, maybe. Even then, I'm not sure. So what I'm really curious about is, what about a correspondence? You know, how is it fared? Has anyone played this variation in correspondence chess? I mean, clearly he's giving back the exchange here, so black is probably better. We're up a pawn. I have check and c3, but that doesn't necessarily win. I'm actually not sure this is the right move. It's yeah, very imbalancing variation. I don't know. Did Hikaru play it against Hikaru played against Hikaru? Did Hikaru play it against Magnus? Now White's down a piece. Let's look in the database for a second to see the highest level games where it was played. You know, Delchev can say, okay, it's refuted, but you know, that's like computer against computer, sure. He's recommending it. He doesn't think it's the best practical thing to do. He's probably right. But it's tricky, you know. Definitely. I should probably take this pawn on g2. Oh, black plays f5, right. No, I mean, that's the main idea. In fact, now that you mention it, am I supposed to play f5 instead of taking the pawn? No. I mean, I can't play f5 here. It's like the next move. Normally it's f3, right? And then black does some crazy... Is it f5? No, I do e6. It's like f3, e6, and then black plays for f5 very early. That's the theory. There's too many strong women chess players, Uber driver. I can't keep track of them all. How do you keep track of them all? Do you have a little black book you put them down in? It was easier when there was just like Judith Polgar and her sisters and a handful of others. That actually goes for men players too. I can't keep track of all the strong players. It's ridiculous. There's so many. Yeah, Uber driver has a crush on them. I always thought Uber driver was kind of a Botez fan. Man, I saw this. I mean, Botez isn't even close to being a strong player, and she's like developed the most giant following. It's ridiculous, but which is kind of sad in a way. You know, all the strong players, women players, and Botez gets all this attention. It's sort of sick in a way, but all these like mainstream media, you know, sites will like interview. Oh, there was an article on my phone yesterday. It was like Botez on tour loses to a 9-year-old child. Like, I'm like, on tour? What? You're not even like a very strong player, and you're going on tour. Okay. It's mate. It's ridiculous. See, the mainstream media are like total noobs, so they don't know the difference between like a real chess player and a fake chess player. They don't understand the difference or even care. You know, it's a pretty, you know, strong player, and they're attractive, and they're media savvy, so that's good enough for us. The average chess player is unattractive. I'll take that as an insult. It's just a sign that the media doesn't really care about chess. I mean, they don't even like really research what they're talking about. You know, if you did a little bit of research, you could. Yeah, I mean, it would be like, do you see like the 12,000th best like woman tennis player getting interviewed, like, or something like that by CNN or something, or some kind of TV show? No matter how beautiful they are, because the media, they understand like tennis, but nobody knows anything about chess, so you can kind of like represent anything. Yeah, but I mean, Anna Kournikova was an extremely strong tennis player. It's not, you know, it's not even close. All right. Play like Kasparov, Vogue, or Vague. Yaminux, Mikhail Tal, Disciple. Mikhail Tal, Disciple's time control is wrong, but I don't think I have enough time to play that many games. I'm not trying to bash anybody in particular, but my point is I hate like fakers, you know, who exploit the game. I mean, I don't care if they're men, women, animal, plant, whatever. You know, I really hate people who do that. Chess fakers. They pretend to be strong players and then convince the general population that they're this great player that they're not. I'm not going to go into lists of people that have done this, but there are numerous examples. Well, I didn't know you played this Benoni type of setup. It's kind of unusual to play knight a6 and c5. So you're just going to transpose to a Benoni. Normally with knight a6 you're playing for e5, actually. You're just playing a kind of Schmid Benoni here. I mean, there's so many strong players in the world now. Can't keep up with them. I don't know who's who anymore. So what do we do? I mean, like, who's to blame for it? Like, Eric Hansen? Is he responsible? Creating this situation? Classic Schmidt Benoni. COVID didn't help. It made chess dumber. First time chat. You're so positive. Generally, we thank God for weekend. You know, I'm often grumpy too. Like yesterday, you just don't watch the end of my simuls on Sundays. I'm not always positive. I try. I'm sure there's a lot of, there's a lot of fake streamers who are like smiley all the time. Like someone just mentioned this. I hate like fake people, you know. I love chess. I mean, that's the thing that is true about me. I'm not pretending. I'm not faking my love for chess. But I'm not always like in a good mood or smiley. So what are we doing here? We're taking on d7 and then pinning on c7. We're taking on d7 and then taking on d5. It looks like an interesting try. Well, I'd always tell this example. There was this guy who I knew in Boston, and he would come to the chess cafe, and I don't know, I met him like 100 times, and every time he was actually an actor, model / whatever. I guess because of his job, you know, because he was a model and an actor, he was kind of he had to be like superficial, but it was like all the time, you know. And after a while, it kind of got on my nerves. I was like, dude, how can you always be in a good mood? It you know what it means? It means that it's fake, you know. Like nobody can possibly always be like, hey, what's up, how are you doing, great to see you, you know. It's like rehearsed. I mean, at that point you're just like, after the 100th time that he's like rehearsed this, hey, it's great to see you, how are you doing, I was just like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, it's no real person is like that in reality. I mean, it's gotta be fake, and at that point you're like, okay, you're kind of fake, dude. I mean, I don't like mean people, but the truth is that we all have. I didn't watch Elmo. That's true. I'm too old for Elmo. Did you lose weight? Yeah, for the 150th time. I mean, I get it though. This particular guy has a career where he's like got to do this surface sort of behavior. So that's kind of an exceptional situation. But it just is an example, you know. Mikhail Tile disciple. Many chess streamers get undeserved attention. Well, the people are looking for something other than really learning the game of chess, I guess. Just straight up entertainment, you know, beautiful girl in a hot tub, what have you, you know. I just try to share my love for the game, and if you watch, you watch. You're gifted chess player on Christmas too. Say what? That must have been lost in translation from the Serbian, the Serbo-Croatian. BJock21 said, I am gifted chess player on Christmas too. You mean like a chess set? Or you're having a baby? I'm not sure which one. A friend of mine who's one of my former students is having a kid, and he sent me, or he just had a kid, and his wife just had a kid. But anyway, he sent me this email that was like, oh, you know, new chess player was born. Made me think of that. And I thought I was always like the little chess players. But BJack still has plenty of time. Can never have enough, Daron. Trying to collect as many as possible before my time is up. How will you prepare when playing against Super GMs? Well, I haven't played any Super GMs in a long time. Well, I always promised myself I wouldn't force my kids to do stuff, because no one ever forced me. My dad was like supportive of me playing chess. He didn't even know how to move the pieces. He would like take me to some chess tournaments. He had zero knowledge of chess. No one in our family played chess other than maybe like one relative who knew how the pieces moved. But I was never forced to do stuff, you know, and I wouldn't do the same thing. If my kids are interested, I'll help them learn, but only if they want to, you know. So I got rook e6 here. This is an interesting move. I mean, one of the things I learned by teaching chess was like I hate it when like parents force their kids to learn. I had this one student, his parents were really rich, and they just wanted him to play chess, but he was bored, and he sat there during the lesson like staring at the clock. So after like the third lesson, I was like, look, I'm done. They're paying me a lot of money, but I don't want to do it anymore. You know, I'm not gonna sit here while this kid like stares at the clock because he's bored and doesn't want to learn how to play chess. So, you know, that most like chess teachers would have just kept doing it and collecting money. You know, I was just like, whatever, I'm done. I just told them I wouldn't do it anymore. Your mom went ballistic on you when you didn't do well in a chess tournament? I mean, my dad's thing, he loved baseball. He played sports. He was big on baseball and football. But he was always supportive. My parents would never like be like disappointed. They'd be disappointed maybe, but they wouldn't ever be upset or angry in some way if I didn't perform well. Yeah, and a lot of people think that chess is a waste of time. My parents could have been like that, you know. Neither of my parents ever played chess. Like, they didn't want me to be a professional chess player, but for example, my dad like probably took me to like 100 chess tournaments or something, or at least like, you know, a lot. He was disappointed I didn't want to be like a serious baseball player. But he still didn't, he wasn't against me playing chess. He respected it. All right. We have 20 minutes left. Another challenge. Well, a lot of people have the idea that chess is a waste of time, and I kind of agree to a certain perspective. But then there's the argument that pretty much everything could be labeled like a waste of time. Philosophy, the arts, music, banking. I don't know. Literature, economics. I mean, I don't know. What isn't a waste of time? Like charity and helping people, maybe the only really worthwhile use of time for human beings to help others. But as far as pastimes go, chess is no different than anything else. Chess is no more a waste of time than any sport or sleep. Elon Musk's big thing was yeah, he's wasting too much time sleeping. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan. All right. But I mean, sports, I could see the argument for working out because you have to stay healthy. But, sports are no different than chess. Knight f3, interesting. Usually people play d4 first. Chess is a sport, technically. Not a physical sport, necessarily. It's a mind sport. One could argue video games and TV are a pretty big waste of time. One could argue that. I don't know about this delayed d4. It's a little tricky. He's saving a tempo developmentally by not playing d4. Bullet chess is a very valuable use of time. Will I be playing after this game? Yeah, I've got time for one more game. At least one more game. No, probably max one more game. This one could last a while yet. So where am I supposed to put my queen here? One thing you've got to be careful is the old bishop takes f7 check. So if I go queen e4 check, he plays king f1. You got to remember that black has queen takes, or sorry, bishop takes f7 check to worry about. But I still should probably play queen e4 check. My queen is in a vulnerable position though. This king f1 is a serious idea. Queen e2 is probably okay, but he should seriously consider that. Now it's approximately equal. I think again here king takes. A lot of thing that beginners don't understand is the importance of the king's changing role in the game. As you get close to the end game, the king becomes a much more valuable piece offensively. Well, just in general. Yeah, maybe queen d7, I don't know. But I'm not sure that bishop f5 is good here in the setup. I've been playing it lately in the main lines, but this is a sort of special situation where white is delaying this d4. I like bishop f5 against d4, but I'm not sure it's as good now. I probably need to bring my kingside pieces out. Knight f6 is main line. I have a bad score against this variation. I lost to, well, I've lost several games in this knight a3 type of c3 Sicilian. I lost against Sveshnikov. I lost against Boros Danesh once. I have a terrible score against the c3 Sicilian. I like almost never won a single game with black against it. Just a lot of draws and losses. It is a good system for white. I think our friend Grandmaster Vita Levente, who is Tranquilizer here on Twitch, he played the C3 Sicilian his whole life, but I think he eventually got a little bit bored with it. He started to play other stuff. But objectively, it's a good system. As much as I hate playing against it, it's not like the London system. The London system is like a waste of the white pieces. I think the C3 Sicilian gives white chances to fight for a slight edge. It's one of the best ways of playing against the Sicilian. I find it like irritating and boring to play against sometimes, but not always boring. All the Sicilian players hate playing against C3, pretty much. Looks like this bishop a3 is going to hurt him structurally. We're just going to win a pawn. Or I can play... No, I have to take this way. But I respect this opening, you know, for white. Even if I don't like it and I don't like playing against it. I'm not going to lie and say the C3 Sicilian is a bad opening. It's not like the Mora Gambit, where it's unsound or dubious. It's just a good opening. So ops color bishops here looks kind of problematic. I'd rather not get ops color bishops. Doesn't C3 only give white equality? I mean, you could probably say that about every opening. I don't know. I mean, the eternal search for an advantage in the opening, I don't think has been proven anywhere, to be honest. Like, what opening can we definitively say we definitely get an advantage? My experience after playing chess for over 30 years and playing the Sicilian almost the whole time is that it's not that simple to equalize against the C3 Sicilian. I've tried like every single system. Yeah, like, but that you can probably equalize if you play perfectly, but you know, that's probably also true with every other variation. This guy's 1499. I mean, I'm scared of a draw here. Ops color bishop position could get drawish. So rook takes, bishop e4. That's my main consideration. I'm going to drop a pawn there. Rook takes, bishop takes. I probably should play something else. Okay, rook takes, bishop takes, b6. We'll just have to play b6. No, luckily he doesn't have rook c1 here. And we're up a pawn with a better structure. But I'm also trying to avoid ops color bishop, so there's several issues. I want to win with my extra material and structural advantage, but I want to particularly avoid an ops color bishop situation where white has chances to draw. Finally a blunder. He just blundered the exchange. I'm going to play one more game. No, I mean, Tranquilizer's an expert, man. He knows like every variation extremely deeply. I've played black side of C3 Sicilian against him like 5 times. And I think I have like, well, at least 4 times. I have like 2 losses and 2 draws or something. I think I have like 1 out of 4 against him in 4, something like 4 C3 Sicilians. I don't remember the exact score. But I mean, that's kind of not just against him, like standard. I guess the standard result for me would be like 3 draws and a loss. Against Tranquilizer, I have like 2 draws and 2 losses or something. Worse than normal, but still, like, I can't even remember like winning against C3 Sicilian more than once. I remember one game I won, like 10 years ago. I could literally count on on one hand any games I've won with black and c3 Sicilians. The vast majority of the games tend to be draws. I beat Straponski once. Okay, so that's 2. I beat a Slovenian FM. That's 2. You know, I've probably won a handful of games somewhere, but it's very rare. Alright, let's play the Schliemann. Last game, make it fun. I started with a Kiel Scandinavian, and now I'm playing the Schliemann. We'll be back tomorrow night, guys. We got to make a tournament for this week. Rapid. I believe it's Rapid. Rapid tournament tomorrow night here on the stream. Don't be afraid to gift a sub and support the stream. Berlin incoming. No. I've been known to do that, but not against the 1200 for my last game in a blitz stream. I don't want to bore you guys, and I don't really play the Berlin. You know, it's funny, I talked about this with one of my students the other day. D takes C is the normal move, but I think BC is interesting. This is a bit more dynamic, like taking toward the center. Fischer beat Bronstein. What did he play? Knight F6? I don't know that game. Pawn takes. What am I supposed to play here? D6. D6, D4. I don't know this variation. Usually they take on F5 there. You hate weird structures. You might be anal retentive. No, I love double pawns. I really love double pawns. I don't know the Fischer Bronstein C3 Sicilian. I really should just like get my Bobby Fischer collected games out of my storage unit and just go over all of his games systematically. I never really did that. I just like hit or miss. I've like hit or miss studied some of Fischer's games. Okay, Pawn E4 Knight E5, Knight F6. There's another variation there. Pawn E4, Knight E5. Pawn E4, Knight E5, Queen E7. Queen H5 check, G6. Knight takes, G6. That doesn't look good for me. I have never looked at this particular position. I guess I can play D6. Right, the sharpest move. Vegas 1200. I always joke about his rating. So here I thought I had takes. I don't know. I'm like crazy. I thought I had takes on E4, but what does that do? We're just going to have the same position again. Takes on E4, Knight C4. Okay, it's different. Takes on E4, Knight C4, D5, Knight E5, takes. Queen H5, check. I mean, that's different, right? This is a little different. D5, or I could play Knight F6. It looks like a Chigorin. It's a Chigorin on the other side. Yeah, I can play Knight F6. That's interesting. Then what happens on Bishop G5? Bishop E7. Knight F6, Pawn F6. A really weird position. It's a Chigorin on the other side. Maybe it was Piece of Human Garbage. That sounds very familiar to me. I don't think it was a human piece of garbage. I think it was a piece of human garbage. Nice quote. Acerbate's never thrown that one out there. So what's up with this? Knight E5. Interesting. What a creative concept. So takes, queen h5 check, g6, queen e5 check, queen e7. My head hurts. Takes, queen takes check, king e7. The problem is bishop g5. Knight f6, pawn takes e5 in that line. And even that's not clear. It looks like a Vienna. Wow. But my c6 pawn is hanging. So this is not, you know, not clear at all. It's like, how are you 1200? But every time we play an opening, you're like making me cry. $1,200 is really pretty weak. You should be getting crushed by me every game. He did lose the games, but I don't remember them being easy. I know that I can let him have the rook on h8 in some variations, but I don't know like when I can do it and when I can't. And if I'm short on time, forget about it, you know. Of course, Super Driver. Ilya Gurvich was a big... Did you know Ilya? He used to play the Latvian all the time. Schliemann Latvian type of stuff in Blitz. Junior on Internet Chess Club. Years ago. He was a good Blitz player. Loved to play stuff like that. He gave up chess and like lives in... What the heck, dude? Knight takes e4. Are we serious about this? Dude, what is going on? What are you seriously 1200 and you're playing tactics like that? What is the deal with this? Whoa. He's 1200. Faster than me. There's no way the guy's 1200, and every time I brought it up, he's like, oh no. Of course it works. It's totally sound. Ain't no 1200 in the world that can play like this. I mean, his rating is completely bogus. 1200 is like you just blunder pieces. You might play occasionally well, but not consistently. It's not a bot. I mean, it's just that he's not 1200. You know, he's more like 17, 1800. He keeps denying it every time, but every game it's like, I feel like I'm playing at least an 1800. It's Simon in disguise. No, what an interesting move to come up with. I mean, he's absolutely not forced to make this move, knight takes e4. Carpetbagger. Well, it's probably not White's best move, but it's still sound and interesting. I don't think I would have even considered it with White. Well, I almost lost to you, Juicebox, and you're slightly higher. He got disconnected. He's just gonna flag, really? You have f3, obviously. What's there to think about here? Why would you need time in this position? You could try something interesting like castle. He's just gonna let his flag run out. Did he seriously? He doesn't lose a piece, does he? He has to play knight b4. He actually lost a piece. Maybe it really doesn't work? I thought it does, though. Yeah. Queen e2, f3, queen takes d5, knight b4. Okay, it was an unnecessary sacrifice. He has to play knight b4. Boy was actually winning. Yeah, you guys were like, I just play knight f6. See, Uber Driver's always giving me bad advice. I think it was Uber Driver who said, just play knight f6 and develop your king side. I knew this position was problematic. So he plays this move. I have never seen this. I'm supposed to play knight f6 immediately. But the computer likes f takes e4. See, I was terrified of this. But the problem is that I don't play this opening enough. Why was I so terrified of this? Why didn't I play f takes e4? Knight takes e5, knight f6 is okay. There's apparently queen g5 too. If I had more familiarity with this opening, I would know that. There's literally one game in the Opening Explorer from 1998. The young Almira. F takes e4. Knight takes e4. Okay, so here the point is d5, knight takes e5. That's what I was afraid of. And this is what I wasn't sure about. So here again you have to have experience and find queen e7. If you take here, I was terrified of this, but it looks like even this is sound. Queen h5 check, g6. And this is the kind of line that we're talking about in Latvian. I can sack my rook on h8. This is precisely the kind of thing like Ilya would have. He would have known exactly what to do. You get used to these themes when you play the Latvian and the Schliemann enough. But I'm totally on my own here. I'm trying to like reinvent the wheel. Okay guys, I gotta go. But anyway, like interesting and fun opening. I had the feeling d6 was wrong, and it was. And d4, you know, you crank that out in 3 seconds, but it's absolutely critical. After this, black's in trouble, and I know that I'm in trouble. You know, I know that I did something wrong. Once white cranks out d4, absolutely. I mean, here I have to find the subtle move knight e7. I looked at that for a second, and then don't know why I dismissed it. And this is a blunder. So here I'm just in trouble. So instead of panicking, white has queen e2 with a very, very big advantage. Bishop takes, knight takes e4 there. Wow. A better version of the same thing. Knight e4, queen e4, queen e7, queen e7, bishop e7, and then takes on c6, and I'm down 2 pawns. Lucky if I get one back. Anyway, it was fun. Fun opening. I gotta go, guys. Sorry I couldn't get the last game of Mikhail Tal. I gotta run. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'm gonna set up a blitz tournament for the team. Ponda Team Blitz Tournament. 9 rounds. I think it's 9 rounds Blitz Swiss tomorrow night. Everybody make sure to join our team, Ponda Horses Club. Correction, it's rapid. It's rapid this week. Alright. Yeah, I said rapid before and then I forgot. Alright. I forget my own brain if I given a chance. Pondo Rapid Swiss tomorrow night at 6:45 CET. Thanks everybody for playing. Bye bye.